and welcome to episode 2 of Battlefield Hardline News. So today we've had a patch on Battlefield Hardline. They've opened up the PC version of the beta to anybody who wants to join it, and we've got some leaked information on guns that are going to be in the game. They're already in the beta files, they're just not accessible at the moment unless you fiddle with it. So here we can see the PC game update for June the 18th. And we've got several crash fixes and some of the netcode improvements from Battlefield 4. So the first fix solves an issue where the game would crash if you took a screenshot. And then we have fixing crashes in the audio system. So Hardline did suffer from the audio loop crash that Battlefield 4 had for a while. They fixed a rare server crash, and they've added the network status icons that Battlefield 4 has to Hardline, so now you can tell if you're lagging or if you're losing packets. And they've integrated the same netcode improvements from Battlefield 4. Now, originally it was thought that Hardline was running at 30 Hz, the same as Battlefield 4 is now. Some statements from DICE and Visceral made it sound like the netcode improvements were already in Hardline, but it seems that they're not all there, or that they've just been added, because we have integrating the same netcode improvements from Battlefield 4. So this may well be the 30 Hz bubble and the improved packet loss handling. It doesn't actually specify which of the netcode improvements this includes, but we can imagine that they're all going to be in there sooner rather than later. So it's nice to see that DICE and Visceral are trying to prevent the issues that DICE had with Battlefield 4. Hardline is 5 months away from launch, and it's getting patched and it's getting netcode improvements and crashes fixed. So this all looks pretty good for Hardline's actual release. So the Hardline beta is now out of its own beta phase, so if you apply on PC to join the beta, you now get instant access. So they've tested out the beta, made sure it's pretty stable, and now anybody can come in and join. And there are some nice little bonuses that you can get in Hardline and in Battlefield 4 if you join the beta. So when you sign up, you'll receive instant access to Battlefield Hardline beta for PC. This isn't the same for PS4, for that you still have to go through the same application process. And apparently for Xbox this is going to be coming out later in its development cycle. For signing up, you also get a weapon camo for Battlefield Hardline, a weapon sight for Battlefield Hardline, additional Battlefield Hardline content, it doesn't describe what that is, and a unique dog tag for Battlefield 4. And it goes on to say that you will only get the Hardline content when the game is released on the 21st of October, and the dog tag will be coming out in Battlefield 4 next month. There are also a couple of challenges for the beta that will get you extra stuff. So if you manage to reach rank 10 in the beta, as I've managed to do here, then you will get a special battle pack at launch. Instead of having different levels of battle pack like Battlefield 4 has, it would seem that Hardline has different classes of battle pack, and this is a new one. Nobody knows what's going to be in it, but it is the beta battle pack. The other reward you can get is $1,000 worth of in-game cash, and to get this you need to enable Facebook sharing. Now it doesn't say how long you have to enable Facebook sharing to get this bonus, and if you get cash in game in the same speed that you get it in the beta, then $1,000 isn't very much. On my beta account at the moment I have nearly $2,000 just sitting there unspent, because the only things I've got left to spend it on are sites that I'm never going to use. But it gets you a freebie, and if you're open to sharing everything to the world of Facebook, which I tend not to do, then go ahead and get your extra $1,000 worth of cash. So Hardline is supposed to be set on the streets of LA, and it's a bit odd that somebody has spotted that at least one of the buildings is in Calgary. It's these brown buildings that you can see in the centre of this screenshot, which is taken from the Blood Money introduction on the map High Tension. And these seem to be modelled on the Suncor Energy buildings, which are in Calgary, not in Los Angeles at all. So here you can see some pictures of the real buildings, and the whole of this area of LA does bear a striking resemblance to this area of Calgary. So were there not enough buildings in LA, or is it a bit too close to home if they model LA buildings in an LA shootout? I think DICE and Visceral have decided that they're not going to model LA exactly, because it would only take one bank robbery or one gunfight on the streets of Battlefield Hardline to make the news. Putting it in a fake version of LA means you're less likely to see Battlefield Hardline appearing on Fox News with pictures of real gunfights. So for this next part, I'm going to put a big warning over the front. Do not, and I repeat, do not try to unlock the hidden guns in Battlefield Hardline's beta. There are guns in the files which are obviously intended to come out later, but somebody has discovered a way of unlocking them and using them in the game. Do not do that. It will get your account banned. You have to hack the game to get these guns. If you start doing it, you will get your account banned. I know how to do it because I've read up on it, but I am not going to do it, so you're not going to see footage of these guns on my channel until they're released. If you want to see footage of them, then feel free to go out and search YouTube for it, but I'm not going to show you how to do it. What I can show you is what these guns are. First up, we have the M240B for the Enforcer, standard LMG, probably going to behave the same as it does in Battlefield 4. Next up is the SR25 ECC, and this is the Knight's Armament Enhanced Combat Carbine in real life. It's another gun based on the AR-15 platform. This fires 7.62 or 308 and is effectively a cut down DMR. The L96A1 is making a return. Now, why a British Army sniper rifle is appearing in an American cop game, I don't know. And why they insist on calling it the L96A1, I don't know, because that's not its name. The L96A1 went out of service in 1985. The improved version of the gun is called the L118A1, and even that has now been pretty much replaced in the British Army. For the pistols, we have the M93R, which is better known as the Beretta F93R, which is a burst firing 3-shot pistol. We have the M1911, because if you don't put a 1911 in a game, then the Americans complain. And it's still got its American Army M designation, even though it hasn't been in use in the American Army since 1985. We have the MAC-10 machine pistol, which is effectively a cheaper, nastier copy of the Uzi. Now, the MAC-10 in the game doesn't have the suppressor on the front, which was designed to make the gun more controllable, so I'm assuming this is going to be a bit of a spray and pray gun. Next up, we have the RS357. Now, there's no gun called an RS357, but what I think this is based on is the Ruger Security 6. This is a 6-shot double-action revolver that was popular with police forces. Here we can see the SMOR, and this is just what a Cops vs Robber game needs, another rocket launcher. Finally, we have the M18 smoke grenade. Okay, this is actually quite reasonable for this game. It's a standard smoke grenade and it throws out a big cloud of smoke when you throw it. So that's quite a mixed bag of guns. To be honest, I'm not all that keen on where Hardline is going with its guns. It's still got a lot of military firearms in there. There doesn't seem to be much emphasis on the police and the robbers, and we've still got a lot of American military hardware. I think a cops and robbers game that's using M240Bs and small rocket launchers is maybe heading in the wrong direction. I think the two different sides should have distinct guns and distinct equipment rather than just being clones of each other, and I hope the game goes in that kind of direction later on. At the moment, it's feeling just like a Battlefield game but with a cops and robbers skin on it. I'll talk about that and some other thoughts on the Hardline beta in a video I'm going to do on it this week. That's it for this episode of Hardline News, and thanks for watching.